Sonic Frontiers is a very different type of Sonic game. Those familiar with the white-knuckle speed seen in previous titles like Sonic Adventure 2 will feel right at home, but there's also an entire separate open world to explore as well. So we've gathered what we think are the most important tips to get you ready for your newest Sonic adventure. Let's get to it. The open world portion of the game is often diverted by portals, which are gateways to cyberspace, aka the more traditional Sonic courses. Each cyberspace level has several objectives to complete to collect all of their vault keys. Luckily, these do not need to be finished all in one run, so take your time on the first couple of goes. Not only to collect all of the red coins and rings needed for those specific challenges, but to just get familiar with the stage. Once all those challenges are completed, then go for the speed challenge last. The open worlds are huge, but you don't necessarily need to explore every inch of them. Especially on Kronos Island, doing a tad bit of exploring should net you more than enough hearts to keep the story going with Amy. Hearts are literally everywhere in the world, and over-exploring for the sake of progression just isn't necessary. That said, there are a lot of icons other than character tokens that you should seek out if they're nearby. Sonic Frontiers doesn't do an amazing job at informing you of what everything is, so here's a quick guide. The question marks are small puzzles that unveil more of the map. The portals are the high-speed stages, the cross swords are mini-boss fights, and the little characters are Hermit Cocos, which upgrade your power and defense, and Elder Cocos, which upgrade Sonic's speed and ring capacity. As we previously mentioned, speed is an important upgrade for Sonic for several reasons, but it's also one of the more difficult ones to level up. Speaking to an Elder Coco, you'll find that he needs 12 Cocos to upgrade Sonic's speed by just a single point. But unlike power and defense upgrades, which are fairly easy to find by completing challenges on the map, the Cocos are unmarked and therefore have no definitive way to collect them. Our best tip is to look for these little guys around portals and other various structures. Or better yet, just listen out for them, as you'll actually hear them bouncing around in the places that they like to hang out. Another great way to increase your Coco collection is to play the fishing minigame. Here, you can spend your fishing rewards on all sorts of upgrades for Sonic. Value is subjective, but for our catches, we think the pack of 20 Lost Cocos is the best way to go. Another, albeit somewhat temporary way to upgrade Sonic's speed is to max out his ring count. Once done, Sonic will get a power boost that allows him to run faster, as long as his ring count stays full. Losing even a single ring will take the power boost away, and you'll need to max out your rings once again. It's also worth noting that the power boost only works in the open world, not in the cyberspace levels. But speaking of, very early on, Sonic will unlock the Psyloop ability. While this ability is primarily used for fighting enemies and solving puzzles, it's also an incredibly fast way to collect rings. Just find an empty spot and get running in Psyloop circles, each of which will cause rings, character tokens, and even skill pieces to burst from the ground and home right into Sonic. Sometimes even rings that are worth more will pop up as well. So even from 0 rings, you can usually unlock Sonic's power boost in as little as 30 seconds. Sonic has an entire moveset right from the start that's never really fully explained, except in the loading screen tooltips. So we can't believe we're gonna have to say it, but pay attention and spend some time with them to learn everything Sonic is capable of during these load screens. Luckily, the game will actually let you continue to experiment with things even after it's done loading. You just need to press the button prompt to actually move on from the practice screen. Sonic Frontiers offers all sorts of ways to fine-tune Sonic's movement without the need for upgrades or progression. For instance, maybe you've upgraded Sonic's speed a bit too much for your liking and you're having trouble keeping up. You can actually manually reduce his top speed, or you can tweak both his steering sensitivity when boosting, or even how high he bounces. If the game doesn't feel quite right, make sure to explore these settings to see how you can make it feel perfect. And that's all we have for now. We hope this video helps you get started on your adventure through Kronos Island and beyond. Be sure to check out our review of Sonic Frontiers or watch some high-speed S-rank gameplay. And of course, for everything else video games, stick with IGN.